What's going on, guys? I'm Tommy, and I'm coming at you with another review. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Hot Toys Obi-Wan Kenobi Mandalorian armor from the Clone Wars Season 5. This is an episode of the Clone Wars I just recently rewatched, the little arc where Obi-Wan goes to save Satine and she dies at the hands of Darth Maul. Recently, I did get the Darth Maul Hot Toys from the Clone Wars, and so, I saw that, they also recently did a Savage Press. The Savage Press is really the one that started this rabbit hole for me with these Hot Toys. I got Savage on pre-order, I got the Darth Maul on sale, I got the Mandalorian Super Commando Captain, and then I saw in the promo photos for that, there was this figure here too. Now this was limited to 2,000 pieces, and it was kind of a Sideshow exclusive, so this was really hard to come by actually. It sold out very, very quickly if I do remember. I actually picked this up on eBay not even a week ago from a guy for just a couple, maybe $20, $30 more than retail, which for a limited Hot Toys exclusive is, very, very good. So I gotta, give some props to that guy on eBay for working with me on the price, and I'm able to review it here on the channel today because of that. So taking a look at the product, this is the standard packaging for Hot Toys right now. You have your promo photo of the character, the product itself, on the front here, as well as another one on this little kind of banner that wraps around here. You have a sticker for it being a Sideshow exclusive on the top right here. In that chrome lettering, you have the Star Wars logo, and again down here you have the TMS number, the Obi-Wan Kenobi Mandalorian armor, and then on this side you have just the same information we saw in the front of the box, and then on this side of the box you have a little promo photo of the character again, this time again with the helmet on. On the back of the box you just have your legalese and everything. You can feed this to your babies because it's not licensed as a toy, and then you have the Star Wars logo on the bottom here, and then on the top of the box you have another Star Wars logo. It's very standard for Hot Toys Star Wars packaging right now, so with that out of the way, what we'll do now is we will lift up the lid here. No tape, no things you have to rip or anything like that. You just lift up your lid here, and you get probably one of my favorite things with the Star Wars Hot Toys, which is this here. You get the little promo photo. They always decide to show you, the character you're getting, and then they show you some ones in the back. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the helmets of these Mandalorians in the back are different. They look to be different than the ones up front. I could be wrong. It could just be because they're a little farther away. I kind of hope they're different. I would totally buy another Mandalorian if they make another one to add to my ranks, but, I'm happy with this one for now. And now we'll pull this off here, and it exposes you to the figure itself with all of the accessories in the plastic tray here. All right, here's the figure out of the box. What we're gonna do first is just check out the detail on it. So the first thing I want to show off here is just the detail on the helmet. I love the unique designs they gave to the Mandalorians. They just have some awesome paint decos with all the mixes of just the grays, the reds, the whites. I think it perfectly matches Darth Maul's aesthetic, and I especially love all of the unique weathering on this helmet here. You can just kind of see all the weathering just looks fantastic, and that's no surprise for Hot Toys here. You have the nice glossy reflective black visor on this guy, and I gotta say I am deeply impressed, as per usual, at how much texture Hot Toys is able to achieve on just paint. They do a really good job with all their paint, and I think it really does the extra work here as opposed to making a more textured sculpt. It really makes the weathering feel authentic. All the detail all throughout the helmet just looks amazing to me. And that of course follows through to all of the armor pieces here. You just have all these different hits of paint. The pieces that are gray are hit with a little bit of like that white and red smear. The pieces that are red are hit with a little bit of that gray and white smear. You can see scratches, dings, dents, scrapes, all kinds of weathering on this armor here. I think it's fantastic. I love the detail on these gauntlets too. These gauntlets look great. They may be a little barren, however, they really do look very nice. The belt is done with some Velcro, so if you want to remove the belt from the jumpsuit, you can do that. There is like this outer part here, which has the very Jango Fett style pouches all on the front here, and again, just more detail on the other gauntlet here. They've done a fantastic job doing these. I mean, they've done a lot of Mandalorians recently, so they've had a lot of opportunity to kind of perfect their craft. So I really think they've just knocked this one out of the park. You've got different layers here. So this outer layer, similarly to Boba Fett's armor, has all of the armor on the chest, and it also houses the armor that's on the back as well as the pauldrons there. You also have this outer layer of the jumpsuit, which is almost like a t-shirt, and then this lower layer of the jumpsuit here, which just kind of travels all down to the lower legs. And then down here, kind of jumping ahead to the lower legs, you have these are pleather, I want to say, which is just a faux leather material. And I will say a lot of the armor is also just velcroed on. So, you know, this is very free floating. I think the Velcro helps it seem more realistic in that way. And I think they've done a great job of emulating, you know, the armor actually sitting on a real person's body, especially considering this was originally an animated design. You got the little knee rockets down here on the knee armor here, and I like the Mandalorians that have the armor on their kind of side of their thighs here that also house the holsters for the Westar 45 blaster pistols. And then of course down here at the boots, you've got these nice, really thick-soled boots here, which are, you know, very accurate to most of the action figures and all the product in the original design as well. And then you have, even again, just the weathering. The weathering is my biggest thing with these Hot Toys, is just phenomenal how well they weather every inch. Even like the stuff like, who isn't gonna have their jetpack on their Mandalorian for this guy? But, you know, even still, they weather it. Just in case you decide, oh, I'm gonna be unique and I don't want to have the jetpack on my figure, you still have a weathered back armor there. It's a lot of fun too, because when you're posing it, you kind of get to fidget with everything and make sure that it's all, you know, looking correct. And I think it adds to the intricacy of these figures. So with that out of the way, let's start talking about this articulation here. So this guy's got a ball joint at the head here. So what you're going to do is you're going to get all kinds of movement. You got some down here, you got some up, which is also nice. You got some good tilt, and then also you've got some right and left, as most ball joints have. The arms are very nice, so you can get this guy up to about 90 degrees. It's your usual kind of hinge and swivel that most of your 6-inch action figures have. He does have some butterfly joints that are worked in there as well with some good range. The arms can technically swivel a full 360 degrees, but the jumpsuit is going to be hindering that because it's stitched. It's made to be like real clothing. So if you were to take all this off, you could swivel the arms 360 degrees. You just can't do that with this guy, with all the jumpsuit on and everything. So he does have some double jointed pinless elbows. I believe these are pinless under here. These are going to get you well past that 90-degree mark, a very realistic bend if you ask me. And there is a bicep swivel that is hinged underneath the jumpsuit as well. And then these wrists are a hinge and swivel as well. So I recommend hinging them and then twisting the wrist however you want to move it to be. However, you know, it's up to you at the end of the day. That's just what I've found with Hot Toys to be the easiest. He has a ball joint to the midsection, which is going to get you some range. It's nothing crazy, especially just with all the overlays and all the different pieces that are kind of hindering that articulation, but you can still move it around. It's got a ball joint here at the hips. These used to be ratcheted joints on some of the older Hot Toys that I've handled, but this one is not, so you've got that there. You do have a thigh swivel, which is also hidden underneath the jumpsuit here. So he's got some pinless double jointed knees here, which are going to get you, again, very, very nice bend there, and you can kind of move that knee armor to kind of be free floating there. And then, of course, down here at the ankles, he's got kind of a ball joint here, so you can move this kind of any which way. You can get some forward there, you can get some back. Nothing too crazy in any direction, but still very good range nonetheless. It's a fantastic Hot Toy. This is pretty typical for what you can expect for articulation for these products right now. Okay, all that aside, let's start covering accessories. So the first thing I'm going to show off, this guy has 2 pairs of swappable hands. The hands that he comes with out of the box here are the fisted hands. And if you want to swap out your hands here, all you do is just pull off one hand and put on the other. Sometimes you have to push down on the gauntlets and everything because everything is free floating. Sometimes it takes a little force to get those hands in, but once they're in, they're very secure. They're not going to go anywhere. Our Obi-Wan Mandalorian is going to come with a pair of trigger finger hands. These are obviously to hold the blaster pistols, or you could probably also have them hold Obi-Wan's lightsaber. And then Obi-Wan does also come with 2 unique hands. These do not come in pairs. You get a thumbs up hand, which again, you could also use as the lightsaber gripping hand, hand for the right hand here, and then you also have an open kind of idle hand for the left hand here. As far as weaponry goes, we do get two, these are the twin Westar 45 blaster pistols. These are the iconic Mandalorian blasters here. You'll see they're done up in some very nice gunmetal color sculpt with some paint apps and just some dry brushing and weathering that give these some awesome extra detail here. And again, these are pretty much identical to each other. You're not going to find too many differences between the two. We could probably kit him out with these right now, stick them in the holsters for now. Those are going to slip into the holsters there. They're not really going to just hang in there by anything other than friction. There's no kind of clip system or anything, so you could sit them in the holsters. However, just be careful. They don't really pass the shake test. They might just fall out, so be wary of that, but I don't think you're going to be hanging your Hot Toys upside down, so you should be good. And then, of course, you do get Obi-Wan's lightsaber hilt here. You're going to have some very nice detail with some silver, some black, some gold, some more copper color, and again, you have a hole up in the top here so that you can plug this lightsaber blade in there, and it's got a little hole as well for being put on the belt. I don't really see a spot where you could do that. There might be another accessory that helps us with that. If not, no biggie. I don't really plan on posing this guy with this lightsaber anyway, but it's a great accessory to have considering this is technically Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then of course we do get the USB version of the lightsaber, so it's pretty much the same sculpt. Everything's pretty much identical here. However, you do have the cord for the LED here. I'm not too sure how this works. This is different than the battery-powered lightsaber swappable arms they used to use for these guys, so we'll see how this kind of works later on. I guess while we're talking about the lightsabers, we may as well bring up the lightsaber blade here. So this is just the standing still lightsaber blade. It is technically blue. It is very light and very translucent. These will pop into your lightsaber blades with no effort at all, and they're held in by friction. They're going to pass the shake test, and these will fit nicely in his hands here. Like I said, we can use this with the thumbs up hand, and there's the lightsaber in the thumbs up hand here. It looks really nice when it's in the hand. I love the way this looks. And then of course we do get the swooshing blade. So this is again going to be in a blue. You'll see it's darker towards this side here. This would be kind of, you know, the end of the swoosh. It's a very nice effect here. Again, it's great that they give you those little kind of effects there. So let's get this posed up, and here's a nice little action pose for our Obi-Wan Kenobi Mandalorian. He's got that lightsaber kind of in hand, ready to swing. He's ready for action here. He looks really cool, and honestly, I love the way that the Mandalorians look when they have a lightsaber or a darksaber in their hands. I think it adds a lot to the design. Now, I guess at this point, it would probably be appropriate to bring up the next accessory, which is the swappable head for Obi-Wan Kenobi. You'll see that this is technically an Episode 3 Obi-Wan look. The shine that they've given to this hair looks amazing. It makes it look so real. I love the way that they've painted on all of the facial hair, and these eyeballs are definitely rolling eyeballs. So you'll be able to move these around. Like I said, I won't really be posing this Obi-Wan with this, but I'll show you what it looks like on the figure real quick. And here's how Obi-Wan looks with the lightsaber in hand and the Obi-Wan head on. This is a fantastic look, and I definitely think it's making it tough for me to stick to my idea that I was going to have this guy with the Mando helmet on and just have him be just a rando Mando for Maul's ranks. I really have to give the Hot Toys team some props for the ability that they have to get these guys to look so damn good. Another accessory we have here is one that is pretty standard for Mandalorians right now in this line, and it is the jetpack. I love the unique paint decos on this. Everything color matches perfectly to the rest of the armor. There is a magnet here, because you'll notice there are no clips or pegs or anything like that. You just clip it into the back there. It's a magnet. It's going to move if you bump it. It's probably going to fall off if you shake it. But again, it is nice. It is not too heavy. So as you can see, I can still pose my figure just fine. It's not going to make him too back heavy. It's a very nice accessory. And then of course, just some more supplemental accessories here. We do have the rolling eyes tool here. This is basically just a tool. You can get your tool up in there and move the eyeballs around. Me personally, I don't have fat hands. Maybe I'll get my dirty fingers in there and move the eyeballs around myself, but you know, it is a good option. This is the box that connects the LED to the rest of it. You'll see you need a special type of cord that they do not give you to get this connected. So unfortunately, I will not be showing you the light up effect for the lightsaber, but you're really not missing much. It's just a lightsaber that lights up. I wouldn't be using it anyway, so it's fine. And then they give you just a couple other clips for the light up accessory. Something that I always make sure to point out when I'm showing off Hot Toys are the extra pieces that they give you here. So a couple extra pieces. There's this tiny little clip piece here that they give you. They give you an extra one. I'm not sure specifically what this goes to. I'm assuming it's for holding the lightsaber onto the belt. Very nice. They give you an extra one in case you lose yours. And then they also give you 2 extra wrist pegs. These ones are in black. And again, these are interchangeable from Hot Toy to Hot Toy. So it's an awesome accessory to have. Hot Toys always thinking of the consumer in that way. And then of course you get our display base here with the Venator / Imperial Star Destroyer floor with the nice chrome Obi-Wan Kenobi name on there. This matches most of your other display stands for Hot Toys, and it's a great addition. And something that I gotta say I'm a little bummed about, because he has a jetpack. I kind of wish they would have gone with the flight stand for this, even though it's interchangeable with these, and I have other flight stands. This is the crotch grabber here, so this wire piece can come completely out, and you just kind of plug this into the base of the display stand. You just push this down in there, and once it's in there securely, and it's going to be able to help us kind of pose our figure with some stability. So with that said, let's get some cool action poses for Obi-Wan before we wrap up the review. When putting the blaster pistols in hand, I definitely would recommend taking the hand off the figure first and kind of working those pistols into the hands. The fingers are rubbery, which makes it so much easier to get the hands into position here. You can fit these fingers nicely into the trigger guard, and it actually looks like he's holding the blaster, which is really nice. Here's a great pose for Obi-Wan with lightsaber and blaster pistol in hand. And just to kind of show off how well balanced the Hot Toys are, here's Obi-Wan in a very stable one-legged running stance. Great little action pose here, and I'm really happy with how this figure looks. Again, it's a Hot Toy. That's what's expected. I expect nothing less than perfection with these figures, and that's what I get every single time. So again, loving this figure here. All right, boys and girls, my one buyer beware, I guess my lookout for this figure, is that getting the neck seal back on when you want to switch back to the helmeted head is extremely difficult. I had some real struggle. I actually, with the help of the eyeball moving tool, I was able to get this helmet back on with a lot more ease than trying to tuck it in with just my big fat fingers after I just got done talking about how I don't have big fat fingers. So make sure you're keeping wary of that if you want to switch back and forth between the Obi-Wan head and back to the helmeted head. All right, here's our Mandalorian with a nice little pose here. I like how he's kind of reaching into one of the holsters here. This is really fun. This figure is so fun. It makes me want to get, more of these guys to kind of fill out this display. And here he is with the Hot Toys Darth Maul here. These guys look awesome, and I'm really excited to start building out a faction with these characters. It's going to be a great display. And with that, guys, I definitely recommend getting your hands on this figure if you can. Like I said, it's a limited piece. It's been sold out for a while now. Right now, as of the making of this review, the aftermarket is in that nice little sweet spot where you could probably get your hands on this figure for just a, $10 or $20, maybe even $30 above retail value. And I just know it's going to shoot up pretty soon here. So make sure you get your hands on this soon if you can. But with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did and you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to Blitz Transmissions. I've got awesome Star Wars content coming out all the time. Make sure to check out my social media, all of which is linked in the description below. That's going to wrap it up for this review, guys. I'll catch you for the next one, and may the Force be with you.